Hi, I'm Mike. I'm going to be doing introduction to tarot cards. Now, I had a lot of people ask me on the beginning Wicca and witchcraft pages that they were asking if you have to have a tarot deck gifted to you. And no, you do not have to have a tarot deck gifted to you. If somebody gives you one as a gift, then that's great. I would take it by all means, but you don't necessarily have to have a deck gifted to you to do tarot. What you can do is go out to the store, Barnes and Noble, and you can buy a deck for about 15 bucks or so. I invested in this, which I got for, I think it was about 20 bucks. It came with a deck and it also came with a spread layout. And in my next videos, what I'll be doing is talking about the spread layout. Because it's good to get used to a spread and perfect that spread. Now, everybody's spread is different, just like every reading is going to be different. They're not all the same. And your best thing to do is actually get a feel for the person in your reading. That's how you're going to get your reading down. But as you can see, actually, I have my altar in front of me with a candle right here and my moon goddess statue, which is my totem. I like to light my totem before I do readings. It has a candle holder in it. Now, it's good to have a totem and to light some extra incense. Now, I won't necessarily be doing a reading in this. I'm just doing introduction stuff to tell people that that a deck doesn't have to be gifted to you. You can go out and buy a deck. Now, how do you bond with your deck? That is a good question. One way of bonding with your deck is to just play with the cards. And if you have an incense burner, lay it on your table or your altar, light the charcoal, and I recommend getting some sage and putting sage in there. And just as the smoke comes up from the incense burner, shuffle the deck a little, play with it. That way, you get a good feel for your deck. Look at the pictures while you're doing it. You could flip them over and spread them this way. But say something like, may this deck give me accurate readings. Put them on your table and spread the cards around. Shuffle them. Play with them. It's about getting a feel for your cards. That's what's important. If you feel comfortable putting it in the other incense smoke, then do so. And play around with them. That's your best bet. But another thing you can do, and this you should do first before you play with the deck, actually, is put the deck under your pillow. Do this for about a week or so, or even a couple days, however you feel fit. Once you think you've bonded with your deck enough, take it out, and that's when you should play with it. Shuffle it, and twirl it around in the smoke. Say a little something that's going to help you bond with the deck, like may be in this deck bond, and it will give me accurate readings. Now, what's going to give you the most accurate reading is actually getting a feel for the person that you're doing the reading for. Feel them out. Try to understand things about them. That's what's going to get you the most accurate reading. When you think you have a feel for the person, then it would be time to take your deck out, shuffle it around. Now, something that's good to do is get the person to feel the cards. That's what's important. Once they feel the cards and they get their essence on the cards, then you can take it from there. And if you've perfected the spread already, or you've read about a spread and that's the one you want to do, then do that spread. That will also help you. Me, I like to do what they call the 5-3-5. What I do is I put the cards on the table. I have them pick 5 cards from where they feel comfortable. Then, after I've got an accurate reading, and usually in the first one that I do where I have them pick 5 cards, one of their past will come up. Now, when I do this, I'm not really focusing on the past, I'm focusing on the present and the future. I really don't focus on past readings because I'm trying to give the person a better guidance of where they're going. But sometimes understanding their past and what they've been through, it does kind of help the future and the present. So I don't really get too many past cards, but they do come up sometimes. And sometimes what I'll do is even go with the reading more and have them pick 5 other cards. So basically, and I do get a lot of past things in there, and when I keep going with the reading, I do get past, and it helps. If you're comfortable with focusing on the past and it helps you focus on the person present and their future, knowing where they come from, then by all means do that. But I mostly like to focus on the present and the future and help them get a better feel of where they're going. But you may ask, how do you do that without not knowing their past? Well, I try to get to know the person in general, so that kind of helps me understand where they're going. You don't always have to know their past, but for the most part, I just want to get the basic things down because people don't usually go over basics. They just jump right into the reading, and some people are comfortable doing that. But me, I like to have a nice atmosphere around me, a lot of smells, my totem to help me focus, and sometimes I'll even rub the totem and say, may we get the answers that we want. Another thing that I do is I lay the deck on the table and I make the sign of the cross. You don't have to do this if you don't feel comfortable doing it. But I have them say their name and I say my name and I say, may we get the answers that we desire. So that's one thing that helps me focus and do my reading a little bit better. I pick that up, from a friend. Another thing you could do, and this might be a little in the advanced stage, so I'm not sure. But if you feel comfortable doing this, what you could do is split the deck, take one pile, put it on your altar or your table, take another pile, put it on your altar or your table, and take your last pile, put it on your table or altar. And as you go, flip one card over, flip another card over, and flip your third card over. Now, as you get better at readings, you'll be able to read them. As you can see, we have the tower here, which means chaos. So when they're present, they might be going through some chaos. And obviously, they came to you for a reason. So the reason is there's turmoil in their life. So you could start with that. Temptation in their life. Offerings. Now, when I do my next videos, what I'm going to try to do is I'll clear some space out here now that I gave you an introduction of what you can do. And what you do is once you do that, you take your stuff off. And if you can fit it, you don't necessarily have to have the totem. That's just as a beginning thing, the bond with the deck. You take all the stuff off, and then, hold on a second, sorry. Let me get rid of this. Sorry about that. It popped up. Now, your next thing that you're going to do is you can put your incense. No, it was going good until stupid